Hello friends, welcome to this new video. So in this video, we are going to create one dashboard based on the data, and the data is regarding the hotel analysis. Okay, so we have certain ask for this particular dashboard as well. Let us see what is the ask. So basically we have a hotel data set containing the resort and the city hotel data from 2015 to 2017. Our central interest is to get the insight from the year 2016 under resort hotel during the summer period, that is July and August. Although we need to see insight on other months too. Okay, means we have to see other insight as well for the different month. Our other focuses are cancellation level, average daily rate, and revenue made as compared to revenue lost on the monthly basis. Okay, so basically we have to create measures for calculating cancellation level, average daily rate, and revenue made as compared to revenue lost on a monthly basis. Okay, so let's start. So basically for creating a dashboard, you have to open Power BI. Okay, now we know what is the first step. Whenever we have to create a dashboard, we have to load the data. So what we will do, we will click on get data. Here we have multiple options for uploading the data. So what we will do, we will choose Excel workbook. So I'll give you this data set in the description box. You can download the data and you can also use this Excel file. Okay, so this is the file raw data. I'll open it. Now once the data is loaded, so you can see the preview here on the right side. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll select table number 1. So if you are 100% sure that the data is very clean, you can directly load the data. Otherwise you can transform the data. So for this, what I'll do, I'll transform the data. So see, now data is loading actually, and this window is called as Power Query Editor, where you will do the different transformation of the ETL process, right? So now, if you observe the table carefully, we have booking ID, hotel, booking date, arrival date, lead time, nights, guest, distribution channel, customer type, country, deposit type, average daily rate, then status, whether they are check-in or check-out, then status updated on, cancel, revenue, revenue loss. Okay, so let's start. Now what we will do, we will duplicate this table. Okay, and we will rename the first table as fact table. Okay, because we have this particular data in it. Now what we will do, basically our data is very large, right? So what we will do, we will assign hotel ID to the different types of hotel, right? So what I'll do, I'll just right click on this hotel and I'll remove all other columns. Okay, I'll use remove other column option. So other columns other than hotel will be deleted. Okay, now what we will do here, like two things are there, either resort or city. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll click on this remove rows and I'll remove duplicates. So basically, if you observe carefully, now there are only two types of hotel, either resort or city, right? So what we will do now, just go to add column and we will add the index column. Okay, so basically one column will be added and index will be given for each type of hotel. For resort it is 0, for city it is 1. So we'll just interchange the column. Okay, and we will rename this column as hotel ID. Okay, now we have the column of hotel ID. I'll just okay, now we have hotel ID. For resort it is 0 and for city it is 1. Now what we will do, we will rename this particular table as lookup table. Okay, so what we have done, we have given the index for different types of hotel and we have renamed this particular table as lookup table. Now we can go to fact table actually, and what we will do, we will go on home, we will use this particular merge query option. Okay, so click on merge queries. Okay, now why we are doing, because we have to assign that particular hotel ID to this particular table. Okay, so what we will do, we will select lookup table here. Our hotel column in this fact table is here, and for lookup table it is here. So here, if you observe carefully, it will show the status whether it is 100% match or not. So just cross check the number, it should be 100%. See, the selection matches 119390, 119390 rows from the first table. Okay, so click on OK. Now if you observe carefully, there is one more column which is lookup table. Okay, now here what we have to do, actually we will unselect all and we'll select only hotel ID and click on OK. Now if you observe carefully, only hotel ID will be written in this particular column. Okay, either 0 or 1. Okay, that's great. Now what we can do, one more thing here is, I'll just close and apply. So changes will be applied. See, it is loading actually, so it will take like 5 to 10 seconds to get loaded. Now what we have done till now, we have loaded the data, we have transformed the data a little bit. And transformation, what we have done, we have assigned hotel ID to the different types of hotel, and we have imported that hotel ID to our fact table, right? So this much we have done. Now if you observe carefully, two tables are loaded, fact table and lookup table. So here three options are there: report view, data view. So you can view this particular data here as well. And the third one is model. So if you observe carefully, our model is already linked. So it is linked by hotel ID actually. And the connection is, see, this one. Okay. Now what is the next thing? So the next thing is, what we will do, we will create a new table. Okay, just a minute, I'll delete this one. Okay, so this is our table. Click on new table. So we have to write down the formula for the table, right? So what I'll do, I have a calendar table formula. So this is the formula for calendar table. I'll give this particular formula as well. You can directly copy or you can directly type this particular formula and you can paste it here. So what it will do, it will create one new table based on your data set, right? The table for the different dates. Okay. Now if you observe carefully, whatever the dates are there in your data set, it will come here. So from this particular date, it will extract year, month number, quarter, weekdays and week number. Okay. Now what we will do, we will arrange this particular month. Okay. If you click on this month, so just click on sort by month number. Okay. And for weekdays also, just click on sort by week number. Okay, so this is done. Now just click on right. Okay, and one more thing which we can do here is go to table tool and we have to mark this particular thing as a date. Okay, so just select the drop down, select date and click on OK. Now if you observe carefully your calendar, so month number and week number is not required, right? So what we have a new table now here, calendar. So what we will do, okay, so we will link this particular date with the arrival date. Okay, and now here also the connection is one to many connection. Now how to like identify whether the connection is one to one or one to many? So see, one is written here and star asterisk marks is there. Okay, so it means that the connection is one to many. Okay, so we have linked all our tables actually. So delete this particular connection. Now, in this, we don't want to see month number and week number. So what we can do, we can hide them. So just click on this I button. It will hide automatically. Okay, so almost everything is done and we are ready to create the dashboard now. So one more thing which we can do here is go to our report view, click on enter data. Now what we will do actually, we will create one new table, okay, and where we will put all measures. So I'll rename this particular table as all measures. So basically, if you observe carefully, we have fact table, which we have loaded. We have lookup table in which hotel IDs are there. Then we have created one column table, sorry, calendar in which all the date related data is there. And at last we have measure. So whatever things we will calculate, we will put in this particular table, all measures. Okay. So let us move forward now. So basically, we have created all measure table, right? So if you click here on three dots, we have one option under select, which is new measure. So click on new measure. Now let's say we have to calculate the revenue. Okay, so the measure is created. Now what we have to do, we have to type the formula. Okay, so what we will do, we will type total revenue is equals to, now what we have to do, we have to use sum formula here. So we will just add sum and just type revenue. Okay, so basically two things are there. We have two columns for the name revenue. One is revenue loss and the second one is revenue. So what we will do, we will take revenue from here, okay, and just close the parenthesis, just hit enter. Okay, so you will get total revenue. Now we are going to create our second measure. Okay, so just click on again new measure. So previously we have calculated total revenue. Now this time we will calculate revenue lost. So again we are going to use same formula sum and we will type revenue. So we have revenue loss. We will select this one, close the parenthesis, is enter. Okay, so we have created two measures, one for calculating total revenue and one for calculating revenue lost. Now, one more important thing while creating the dashboard is format of the data. Okay, now if you observe carefully, if you click on revenue loss, the format is general, right? But this is the currency. So what we will do, we will select currency here and the type of currency is already US dollar. Okay, and you can select the decimal places also. So what we will do, we will select one. One will be fine. Okay, now same thing we will do for total revenue. Okay, we will select the format as currency. Okay, because this particular thing is also a currency, US dollar. And one more thing which we can do is, yeah, done. Okay, so let's create our first visual. So let us select stacked column chart. Okay, so our ask was this one. Okay, so what was our ask? We have to focus on cancellation level, average daily rate, and revenue made as compared to revenue lost. So first we will do this thing, revenue made comparison with the revenue lost. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll select total revenue. Just you have to tick mark these boxes. Okay, whatever the data you need to show on the visuals, you have to just tick mark the boxes. Okay, so I've selected total revenue. I have selected to, revenue lost, and let's say we have to do this on month wise manner. So what I'll do, I'll select date. Okay, so instead of date I'll select month. Okay, so if you observe carefully, okay, so it will look like this one. So what we can do here is, okay, I have deleted the previous one, so just click on this one. Okay, now just tick mark the boxes which you have to select, that is total revenue, revenue loss. Now you have to do this comparison on monthly basis, so tick mark on month. You will get this kind of visual. Okay, now if you observe carefully, let's say this one is the x-axis. So below the x-axis, that is revenue lost. Above the x-axis, it is revenue generated, or we can say total revenue. Okay, now one more thing. Now we have to create one measure also. Okay, for calculating, I'll show what you have to do. Okay, so I was saying about you have to create one measure. Okay, just go on new measure. Okay, now if you observe carefully, so in this particular measure, what we have to do, we have to calculate total transaction. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll type transaction here. Now what will be the total transaction? It will be count rows, right? So in which table we have to count rows? We have to calculate the count rows in fact table. Okay, so this will be the transaction. If you hit enter, so it will be the transactions. Okay, now again, if you observe the table carefully, okay, so which table we have to see? We have to see the fact table. Okay, so if you observe the data carefully, so in this particular data we have one column for cancelled. 0 means it is not cancelled. Sorry, 0 means it is cancelled, but 1 means the person has checked in, right? So it is basically true or false. Okay, so what we will do, we will open the report view. Okay, now again we will create one new measure. So the name of the measure will be total cancellations. So I'll just type total cancellation here. So total cancellation is equals to, now we have to put the formula. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just hit Alt Enter to go on the second row. Okay, so do you know which function we are going to use here? So we are going to use calculate function here. So just calculate, again hit Alt Enter. Okay, so what we are going to do, we will type transaction actually. So transaction. Now we have to put comma. Okay, now we have to select one column from our fact table. Okay, so what will be the column? It will be the cancellation. So this is equals to 0 we will put. Now see, in that particular cancelled column we have 0 or 1, but let's say there was some like spellings are there, or we can say words are there. So whenever we have to compare the words, we have to put in double quote. Now only we have to use the numbers, so double quote is not needed. Okay, so what we will do, we will just close the parenthesis and hit enter. So our measure is created for calculating the total number of cancellation as well as for calculating the total number of transactions. Okay, so these things are done. Now basically we have to create one more measure. So as we have seen one slide previously, that what we have to calculate. Okay, so it was the total percentage of cancellation, means cancellation level it was. So what we will do, we will create new measure. Okay, again the name of the measure will be percentage cancellation. For calculating this percentage cancellation, what we will do, we will use divide function. Okay, so we will divide total cancellation by, we will divide total cancellation by total transaction. Okay, put comma 0. hit enter. So this is the percentage cancellation. So till now we have created five measure. First was for calculating total revenue, then for calculating total revenue lost, then for calculating total number of transaction, which we have done by counting the rows. After that we have calculated total cancellation. Okay, and at last we have calculated percentage cancellation. Okay, so we have calculated percentage cancellation, but if you observe, the format is very general. So what we will do, we will just select the format as percentage. Okay, because format is very important, and decimal places up to one decimal place only. Okay, so it will take time. It's loading actually. Okay, now after this, what we are going to do, we are going to calculate average percentage. Okay, so average daily rate we have to calculate. So what we will do, again click on three dot new measure. Okay, so the name of the measure will be average daily rate. So for this, this function is very easy, which is nothing but average, and what for what we are calculating the average, which is daily rate, average daily rate. Just close the parenthesis, hit enter. Okay, now we can create one visual. Okay, on the bar chart we can show average daily rate, and on the same bar chart with the help of line we can show percentage cancellation. Okay, so we can use line and stacked column chart. Okay, so this chart will open. So on this particular chart, on x-axis, what we can show, we can show average daily rate. Okay, on x-axis we can show month. Okay, and line on y-axis we can show percentage cancellation. So if you observe carefully, this graph will give a beautiful insight of comparison of average daily rate as well as the percentage cancellation by different month. Okay, so let's create the different measures. Okay, now let us do some calculation for calculating late time. So basically late time in the hotel booking is nothing but it is the difference of the days between the actual booking and the check-in date. Okay, for example, let's say we have booked the hotel for hotel booking for like 5 days prior to the check-in. Okay, so the late time will be 5 days. Okay, means the number of days in between the booking date as well as in between the check-in date. Okay, now what we will do, we have to calculate the lead time here. Okay, so if you observe the carefully our fact table. Okay, so this is the preview of fact table. We have one column for lead time. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just select this particular table. Okay, so if you observe carefully, like the lead time maximum is of like 737 and minimum is of 0. So what we will do, we will go on home. Okay, we'll go on table. We will add new column actually. So what we will do, we will add conditional column here. Okay, that will be better. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just delete this. Okay, so just click on transform data, go to Power Query Editor. So under add column, you will find conditional column. Okay, so we have lead time, right? So just click on this conditional column. Okay, so one window will open and the new column name will be lead time transformed. Let us type lead time transformed. Okay, now what is the column name? So basically we are doing this for late time and operator, if you click on this particular drop down, so there are so many operators: equal, does not equal to, is greater than, is less than, is greater than equal to, or less than equal to. So let us select is less than or equal to. Okay, so if it is less than or equal to, let's say 30, then output will be 0 to 30 days. Okay, else the output will be greater than 30 days. Okay, so this is our data. Now if you observe carefully, see, we have added one conditional column, and right now the data type is not fixed. Okay, so we will fix this particular data type as an text. Okay, now we can close this Power Query editor. Okay, so if you observe carefully now, okay, just a minute. Yeah, if you observe carefully, so at last this table, okay, it's loading actually. So we have created like inserted one new column, which is a conditional column based on lead time data. So if it is like less than 30, it will give 0 to 30 days, and if it is like greater than 30, it will give greater than 30 days. Okay, so the column will be at last, I guess. Yeah, see, this is the lead time and our data type is that one. Okay, so what again, I'll go to this report view. Okay, so for this, we can create a stacked bar chart. Okay, so on x-axis, what we will do, on the fact table, we have lead time transform. So on x-axis, we can put this one, lead time transform, and on y-axis we can put percentage cancellation. So it will give a beautiful insight actually. So if the booking is in between 0 to 30 days, the rate of cancellation is very high. Okay, it is 81.4%. And if the booking is for like greater than 30 days, so if you observe carefully, the cancellation percentage is low, which is 54.1%. Okay, so this is the insight which we can like get from this particular graph, or we can say visual. The next visual is same, which we can calculate from here, is the comparison of lead time which average daily rate. Okay, so let's copy this particular visual. Okay, do not think about the arrangement of visual, okay, that we will do at very last. So basically, instead of percentage cancellation, we want average daily rate here. Okay, so if the lead time is greater than 30, then average daily rate is 103.26, and if the lead time is in between 0 to 30, the average daily rate is 98.86. The next visual which we can create is cancellation, like total cancellation for like different weekdays. So for that also we will use stacked bar chart. Okay, so on x-axis what we will do, we will put weekdays. On y-axis we can put total cancellation. Okay, now if you observe carefully, so the cancellation are very high on Mondays actually. Okay, so these visuals we have created from this particular data. Now, like see the arrangement and all we will do at very last when we will finalize all our visuals. Okay, so basically all our like insights or like visuals are created. Now just we have to arrange these particular things in a proper manner, and we have to give some options for applying the filters. Okay, so filters like if you observe our first slides, it was given that we have to get this particular data for 2 months, which was like July and August, and for the year 2016. But for only for that particular year and for that particular month, we if we are creating dashboard, that is of no use, right? So what we will do, we will give the customizable option there where, from which we can select the year and the month. Okay, so that is in the form of slicers and all. Okay, so again what I'll do, okay, so let us arrange this particular visuals in a beautiful manner. Okay, so in a beautiful manner, in the sense, what I want to say is, what I'll do, I'll drag this particular here and I'll take this particular graph here. I'll just reduce the size. Okay, again I'll just reduce this particular size. Okay, I'll arrange this. Okay, so now we have to arrange the visuals in the proper manner. So for that, what we will do, okay, so we have finalized our visual. So we will just select the text box. Okay, so in this we will just type hotel analysis dashboard. Just increase the text size to 42 will be fine, I guess. Center align. Can make it bold. Okay, now under effect, if you click on, you have to go on general, you have to click on effect. So here one option will be their color. So color, we will select this one. Okay, and you have to reduce the transparency, right? Initially it will be 100%. You have to reduce it to 0%, so does the color will be visible. Now one more thing which we are going to do here is the background of our dashboard as well. Canvas background, we will select the same color. Okay, this one. Now we have our visuals. Okay, so for this particular visual, again same thing. If you click on this particular visual, go on format your visual option. So under general, under effect, you have option to select the background of that particular visual. Now this is our visual. So we will make the changes in this particular visual and we will copy the format based on the other visual. So what changes we can make here is, go on visual. So for x-axis, we'll make the values bold. Color, we will select black so that it will be clearly visible. The next thing is, this is done. Similarly on y-axis, values, will make it bold. Color, we will select as black. Legend, everything will select black color and bold. Okay, so that it will be clear. Now we have whether we have to show the grid lines or not. So we will show dotted grid lines, and the color again we will show black so that it will be clearly visible. If you want to give zoom slider, you can give. Okay, column, see, revenue lost is something which is negative, right? So for that we can use red color. Okay, so let us change the like background of the graph. Okay, so just a minute. I'll canvas background. Instead of this, we will select this one. Okay, for this also go to general and select this. Now see, something negative we will represent in the red color, right? And the something positive we have different color actually. So go on visual. It was column, and for this we can use this dark color actually. Okay, total revenue and revenue loss. Now the next thing is the title. Okay, so go to visual, go to general, title. If you observe carefully, so we'll make it bold. We'll center align that one. Now what we will do, instead of making changes in our other visuals, what we will do, we will directly copy the format with the help of format printer and we'll paste it. Okay, again same thing, we'll copy the format, we'll paste, copy format, paste, copy format and paste. So just little changes we have to make. Okay, so this particular space we will use for our slices. Okay, we will remove this one. Okay, now the next thing is we have to format this one. So basically we will go on format our visual option. So here line option is there. Okay, so line style is solid and the color of the line which is showing the cancellation percentage, it should be red in color, right? So we will select red color here. Okay, now markers will on, data labels we can enable. Okay, but so many data labels are there, so what we will do, we will disable. Series label is also not needed actually. Okay, so this looks good. Only what we will do, just change the colors of the column. Okay, so instead of this one we will select this one, so we will keep one theme only. Okay, now if you observe carefully, click on this particular visual column. Okay, so most of the things are done. Now just we have to create the slices. Okay, so what different slices we can give. Okay, so just go on this particular option slicer. Okay, so here in this first we can give year option. Okay, so based on the year we can filter out the data. Okay, so we have selected the slicer, we have selected the year. Now what we will do, we will just format this. Okay, so we can select the slicer, go to slicer setting, style. What we will do, we can give vertical list like this. Okay, so if you want 2013 data, you have to just click on 2013. If you want 2014, Like this you can get the data. Okay, the next thing is, after this slicer, okay, another slicer we can give for customer type. Okay, I have selected one more slicer, and from here we can select customer type. Okay, so how many type of customers are there? Contract group, transient or transient party. The next thing is we can select one more slicer. Okay, and we can select countries here. Okay, so for which country we want the data. Okay, so if you want for specific country, you can select it from here. You have to just scroll down. Okay, so the next thing is, now these slicers are fine. Now the next slicer which we can give is for so basically here in this particular slicer, what we will do, we will give an option to select the quarters, because somebody may want the data in the form of quarter, right? So here we will just change the style. Instead of vertical list, we will give tile. Okay, so 4 quarters are there. You can select any quarter. After that, if you need month-wise data, so you can get the month-wise data from here. So what I have done, I copied the slicer, and I'll just drag it like this. And from here you can get month-wise data. So I'll remove the quarter and I'll just put month there. Okay, so all months are there, all quarters are there. So based on your selection, the data will be represented in our report. Okay, now what is the next thing is, we have to format this. Okay, so again what we will do, we will go general setting, effect, background. Again we have to select the same background so that it will look good. Okay, transparency is already 0. Okay, the next thing is visual border we will enable. Roundness corner we will keep near about 10. Values, font color, so instead of keeping that color, we can keep this particular color. This is also not looking good actually, so font color we will keep black only. Background color, yeah, this is looking good actually. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just copy the format, paste it here. Okay, so go to this one, go to general, effect, background, same back. This background we will, okay, wait. This background we will apply, and go to visual values. For this one, we will use this. Okay, done. Now for these things, you can directly copy the format and paste it. I'll do like this one. Now, one more thing which I want to do is you can draw the borders. Okay, so if you draw the border, it will really look good. Okay, so border in the sense what you have to do, just you have to go to format your visual option, visual border you have to enable. Okay, and roundness corner you can select 10 to 15 will look good. Okay, any number in between 10 to 15 it will look good. It will look like this. Okay, so what we will do, we'll just give this space in between these two visual. Okay. Now, instead of copying the format, what we will do, go to format your visual so that we can have a practice, right? Effect, visual border we have enabled 15. Similarly for this one also, select 15, enable 15, just copy the format, paste it, copy the format and paste it. We'll just reduce the size of this visual a bit. So at last the arrangement is only the concern. Okay, you have to just arrange the our visuals whatever you are showing in a beautiful manner. So our dashboard is completed. Now we will just check whether our dashboard is working or not. Working in the sense, if you select the filters, you need to get that particular data. Okay, so now if we select first quarter, the data is changing according to the first quarter. Okay, in the first quarter we have 3 months, Jan, Feb and March. Okay, now if you select the second quarter, the data is changing. If you select the third quarter, the data is changing accordingly. If you select fourth quarter, if the data is changing accordingly. You can select multiple quarter. Okay, just you have to press the control button. See, I select second, third and fourth. So according to this, the data is getting changes. Okay, so this particular option which you are giving for customization for the selection purpose, these are called as slicers. Okay, so you can select years. So if you, let's say, I'll just clear this selection. So according to our ask, so this was our ask, right? We need data from 2015 to 2017. Okay, data is given from 2015 to 17. Okay, so what they need this 2016 data for July and August month. Okay, so just select 2016. Okay, and just select July and August month from here. So this will be our final answer for the ask. Okay, so the customization option is given, so you can do it accordingly. Okay, so thank you for joining with me in this video. I hope you have learned something from this video. So creating a dashboard is not very hectic or very difficult task. It is very easy. Just you have to apply some basic rules. First thing is you have to add the data. Second thing is you have to transform the data accordingly what you have to get from that particular data. The third thing is you have to create the visual, and at last you have to just arrange the visuals in more aesthetic manner. Okay, so hope you have liked this video. So please like, share and subscribe this channel. Okay, we will meet in our next video. Thank you.